Yes. My own Boontog, everybody. Magandanu Maga. My own Aga. For those in Iloilo, my own Aga. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Yes, here we are. Yes, we have September 11th, 8:02 in the morning, and it is currently 83 degrees. Guys, we have a lot to go through, a lot of announcements here in the morning. I apologize, but let's kind of dive into it because I really do. I think it's going to set the tone really for a lot of stuff, for a lot of things for this live, as well as, conversations we can have, as well as, okay, Richard, I see you down there, as well as, yeah, just a bunch of stuff going on. So really, I really want to thank everyone for being here. Thank everyone for participating in the channel and the conversation, the community group. Absolutely love it. Just meeting guys all the time. So thank you guys so much for being here and just participating, right? Really just participating in what we're creating here. So we're all creating this together. This is me on the camera, but this is very much a community deal. So I appreciate and acknowledge you guys. Talk about the content. So maybe about a month or so ago, I started adding really a lot of YouTube shorts. I'm putting out shorts every day. I'm kind of using a lot of the lives as well as some of the other videos and trying to make some YouTube shorts, as well as putting this out on a bunch of other platforms. I've reached out to TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. So yeah, really doing a lot to expand and grow and kind of put the content out there on everywhere. So yeah, I'm sure some of you may have seen that, but it's an experiment. I'm actually really enjoying it. It's I find it, it's a way to use this content in a bunch of different areas and aspects. So, not everyone will watch these lives, for example, the whole 2 hours of that. So it really we can pull bits and pieces out of the live and then put it kind of around so people can experience it. So I'm actually, it's a lot more work, but I'm enjoying it. And so the other thing I wanted to kind of bring up that's there for me on my notes here is the visa changes, right? So a lot of conversation about that. I don't know if you saw Paul's interview with JR from JRC. There's a bunch of stuff on the visa changes, right? Well, let's talk about that because there hasn't really been anything legislative that's changed, right? There has been no changes like that. However, there are some changes that have happened over the past, really since I've been here. I'm going on 2 years. In December, it'll be 2 years since I've lived here. And in that time, there's been a couple of really kind of key changes that we all want to kind of be thinking about as we're looking to be here. And the big one is, well, one of them is no more 6 months visas, right? So basically, so I did, I think one or two, I did one 6 month extension when I got here. And basically, it's just a convenience, right? You forget about it for 6 months. And now what you need to do is every 2 months you can do, or you can do a 1 month extension. The other option is a 2 month. So you're going in every 2 months. So it's kind of I think it's a little bit telling as far as where immigration is at. They really want to do a more frequent checkups with us to see, what we're up to, what we're doing. And that brings me to the second kind of thing that's going on is that interviews that are coming down. They're asking questions. Why are you here? What are you up to? What's your intentions in being here? And I get that, right? That makes sense, and it's not necessarily a good or bad thing. But it's clearly different from when I got here almost 2 years ago, right? 2 years ago, you're good for 3 years, and you leave the country for a weekend, you come back, you're good for another 3 years. And now what it looks like they're trying to do, based on all that stuff, is they're really trying to move you towards the proper visa. So if you're not a tourist, move to a retirement visa. If you're not a retiree and you're working, move to a business visa. So it looks like that's the path. And for me personally, when I look at those options, there isn't a good fit. There really isn't. And that'll kind of bring me into kind of my future and what I'm looking to do. And the reason there isn't a good fit is because if you served in the military, you could do the SRRV or SSRV. My dyslexia kicks in a little bit there. You could do the special retirement visa, and for 1,500 US, I mean, you're freaking golden, right? If you're over the age and have a pension of a certain amount, that amount can change to 10,000. I don't have a pension. I'm doing this early, so my deposit is 20,000, which isn't a big deal in the scheme of things, but it is a big deal. You know, if you run the math on what 20,000 does after 20 years, and you know, as a 50-year-old male, the likelihood of me being 70 years old, you know, is high. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. And if you look at that same over 30 years, you know, it's a lot of money. So it just, the retirement visa it's a bad financial decision for me, really bad. And that might not be for you. And when you compare it to other visas that are out there, you know, there's better visas that are out there in this Southeast Asia region, Cambodia. And so that's kind of I'm going to lead into some of my future plans. I'm probably going to, if I look at this, now look, guys, this is very early on for me in my thought process, but I'm looking at splitting my time between Cambodia and the Philippines. And that Cambodia will probably be my base. You know what? Let's go ahead and I'm going to bring up a map of that. 1 second here. And I want to kind of talk about why I'm looking at, well, there's a lot of reasons I'm looking at kind of Cambodia, but also from a motorcycling standpoint. Let's do this, add to stage. When you look at this region right here, now you got Cambodia, and the area I'm looking at, there's a couple cities. There's Phnom Penh, and as well as Siem Reap, I believe it's called. I'm probably butchering these names. But if you look at this region right here, this really gives me access as a motorcyclist to all of the Southeast Asia region. I've got access to Vietnam. I got access to Thailand. I got access to Laos. So really, really strongly looking at, you know, setting up a base in Cambodia, either probably actually in Siem Reap, as I'm looking initially here. That looks to be a better fit for me as far as how that town is. So yeah, so there's a lot happening with my thought process here and the visa changes, and you know, and one of the strategies I'm looking to do is to really not be in the Philippines more than 5 months. So what happens after 6 months you're here is you need to do a departure, you need to do an exit clearance, where they do extensive checks, they run backgrounds and all that. And I'm not worried about that, but my thought is to stay off the radar. And so if I at least leave every 5 months, or maybe spend several months in another country and then come back and do that kind of deal, I avoid all of that. I avoid the need to move to a really a financially poor choice for me with a retirement visa, and then I can kind of bypass a lot of that. And you know, it's really interesting as I think about kind of the Philippines, and there's a lot of people that are kind of looking at this exact same deal, leaving the Philippines, going to other areas because of some of these things that are coming down. So, you know, I don't know, like I'm not, and this to me, I feel is something over the next year. It's nothing I'm going to do tomorrow. It's nothing I'm going to do next month even. But, you know, I plan on doing a scouting trip here to Cambodia, maybe as soon as the next couple weeks. I just have to look through my schedule and that to see when I can get over there. But it just, when I looked at the visa costs and centrally located with motorcycling, there was a lot of benefits to going over there. The other thing about Cambodia that I'm looking at is just the friendliness of the people. Really similar here to this country. You've got a lot of English speaking, you've got friendly culture and people. So I'm really, really excited about looking at Cambodia as really a next step, and potentially be there more there than here. Again, it's early on, but it's looks like that could be a path. So that's the visa. And then, you know, kind of talked about the future and the videos and the content, a lot more of all throughout Southeast Asia. My last note to go over before we jump in here, some really good news, man. I'm so excited. I got my first, I don't know, sponsorship or partnership. I'm so excited about this, guys. You just can't. So I kind of been getting them, right? I get them every now and then, but it's for whatever, crazy dating sites that are extremely overpriced and that kind of deal, and something I just wouldn't even recommend for anybody. But I have a new sponsorship for, and actually, hold on, I'm just pulling it up here. I got a sponsorship for it's a dash cam. I'll bring it up right now that I got the site pulled up. At the stage, and I don't know if I could pronounce the name to save my life, but Auchi. I have no idea. I guess I should figure out how to pronounce my sponsor's name, right? But I'm really excited about this. Like I said, it's not some freaking ridiculously overpriced dating site that I'm trying to peddle to you guys. This stuff I'm really excited about. So they're sending me a unit. It's a dash cam. It's got multiple cameras. It's got tire pressure monitoring. It's got GPS. I mean, this is something I would even get. So I can't begin to tell you how I'm excited to kind of show you guys this stuff. They'll have discount product, the codes for you. They'll have stuff like that. So just a heads up on that. There'll be videos to come as I get that camera. I think they just shipped it to me, so I should get it within the next week or so, and they get installed. And then, I'll probably do a video kind of talking about how it works and my experience with the product. So just a heads up on that. More to come. So yes, sorry for the now long preamble, probably a good 10 minutes of that. Let's jump in. I know there's a lot there that, kind of we talked about. Hopefully I wasn't muted, but let's get into it, guys. Yes. Good morning. Cloudy, Montangus, and rain. Yeah. Lots going on weather-wise. A couple of low pressure systems that are out there building, but I think it's been starting to clear. There's some gaps right now. Yeah, this time of year, guys, you really want to keep an eye out to the east. You really want to be watching those lows. I really recommend windy.com, and I'm also using, I think it's called the new one that a gentleman introduced me to, which is Zoom Earth. A couple of really good weather apps. So definitely keep your eyes out to the east as these low pressure systems can build right around this time of year. Yes, Xavier, good morning from Iloilo. Hope all is good out there. Yeah, you guys are out there together. You guys should meet for sure. Yes, got no time for spreading the roots. The time has come. Gone a health yard, dark 1,000 times. Ramble on. Morning, evening, everyone from Michigan. What's up, Matt? Yeah, how's it going? Yeah, I hope all's good in Michigan. Most of my siblings are from the Kalamazoo area. They were all born out there. I spent a lot of time in Michigan myself. Went out to Warren Dunes and Lake Michigan out there. So yeah, I'm familiar. Went up to upstate New York. Yeah, hope all is good up there. Yes, neighbors up there. Yes, Mississippi. Yeah, beautiful. Hope the weather's kind of cooling down a little bit for you. Not so humid. Been a little bit warm here. Yeah, it's been actually nice now. Like you said, we've had some low pressure systems go through, but it's been nice. I'm looking forward to get back to Leyte. Yep, good. Yeah, message me after, and then we'll get some lunch or whatever. Yeah, I'll probably be on here for right around 2 hours. But if you need anything, yeah, shoot me a message. Let me know. Yeah. So shout out to you, man. This guy, came all the way, flew down here. He's going to spend a couple days with me here, but he's donating blood because he's got a very rare special blood type for a fellow American who's having some issues here in a local hospital. So shout out to you, brother. I mean, come on, man. That's really awesome. And that's why I actually came back to Cebu City. I wasn't going to be back here for a while, but I mean, he's going out of his way to kind of help this guy out. So I said, hey, you know what? You can stay here with me and, try to help him out too. So amen to you, brother. Yeah, really. That's just really, I love that level of generosity with people. So shout out to you. Yes, fellow traveler. Hi, peeps. What's up, man? Russell, how's it going? Mayong buntag, mga darumaga. Christian, hey, yeah. Hey, how's the weather there? Yes, weather's good. Yeah, nice, right? 83 degrees, a little bit overcast, cloudy. You can see the sun behind me. It's kind of coming through pretty strong. Yeah, it should be pretty good. Let's check really quick. What do we got weather-wise? Yeah, it looks nice. I don't think we got any rain forecasted for today. Yep. Yeah, it looks pretty good, man. Digging it. So I'm in Cebu City. She's in Palampon. She's got her last year of school out there. And so just really quick with that, kind of as I was talking about Cambodia with her, is we're making steps now to get her passport, to get all that set up. So this, like I said, this is a ways away, and she's got a commitment there through May for her last year of school. So, but like for me now, I'll probably go out, do a scouting trip, go check it out. and then come back. And then, I've got some trips too. I'm going back to the United States in May, but it wouldn't surprise me even, June, July, that I'm really doing more of a split time between there and here, just as things change. And it's really interesting because I don't know, man. There, like I said, a lot of guys are going to be kind of doing similar stuff. Philippines is great. I love it. Don't get me wrong, but it is kind of, you've got to be an outdoorsy guy. You've got to be that kind of deal. You have to be wild, wild west, outdoorsy, kind of easy going on that. And, if they start raising prices and make it harder for people to be here, I mean, honestly, for me, $20,000 for a glorified campsite, that's a little bit high, right? A little bit high. And, $300, yeah, right? That kind of makes sense, but for 20,000, man, they're going to be pricing themselves out of a lot of expats. There's a conversation talk to some Filipinos, about the quality of people that are coming over. And it's like, look, it's a developing country, right? The Westerners with money don't want to pay 20,000 for a campsite. You know what I mean? So they really got to be careful around pricing themselves out, and then people finding other places to go that are easier and more affordable, So we'll see how it goes. Really, really interesting time though, right? Daily content gets the best views, but I wouldn't putting up bits of live streams. I think it kills dopamine, if you feel me. Just film new, simple stuff. That gets better. Yeah, I get what you're saying, but with the live streams, it's I could cut bits and pieces of those conversations, and then I can kind of put them out on a lot of the platforms, especially when you start talking about shorts and that type of shorter content that a lot of those other platforms really use and cater to. It's just boom, it's right there for me. And that's kind of one of the things about YouTube as you're growing and developing your channel. They talk about finding ways to recycle and reuse content where it's still innovative and creative. Like, look, like I said before, with it lives, the views of my lives is like 1,000, whatever, 500. And no, out of those 1,000 people or 1,500 people, hardly any of them watch the full 2 hours of it, right? So in a lot of ways, it is new content. And I can also, in the shorts, I could point people to the live. So if they want to be more of that, see more of that particular conversation, they can click on the link and go to it. So it does make sense in a lot of ways to kind of repurpose the content as much as you can and on as many platforms as you can. But I get it. But for me to shoot like completely different content for every platform, that'd be almost impossible. I would need a crew, right? I'd need a whole kind of crew working for me, which I don't necessarily have. Every expat feels uncertain about living abroad for the most part. The feels used to be acceptation, but it still seems friendly. And that's a good point. That's kind of my feeling right now, is that there is this now level of uncertainty of being here. There really is, which wasn't there for me before. I gotta, go into potentially, I need to go into have these interviews with an immigration officer. And at that moment, they can decide whether or not they renew my request or not. What if the guy wakes up and has a bad day and you're like, you know what? Yeah, I didn't get my breakfast. I didn't get my rice this morning. Denied. That's kind of where you're opening yourself up to versus, hey, you know what? Every 6 months, boom, you got it. You leave the country for a weekend, you're right back. It's a 180, extreme 180 from what it was when I arrived, right? It's different. And as someone who's trying to build a future somewhere outside the West, it's not very welcoming. It's not very stable, right? It has me looking for that stability. And, I'll find it, and look, every problem has a solution, right? It really does. So I'm investigating, which we all need to do. We all need to have plans as far as where we're going, what we're doing. So I'm in that inquiry right now. It's like, all right, what's going to be the backup, or the backup turn into the primary, right? I just didn't have that before. There wasn't a need for me to have that before. And now there really is. There really is. Travel with Xavier. Hey, Chris, I just did a visa renewal and I went in one time a week and got my 2 months each time. Yep, so I'm set for 6 months now. Oh, yeah. That's right. I have heard of that, actually. So guys going a couple days apart and getting 2 months extensions. I have heard that. I have heard that. Yeah, yeah, I have heard a little bit about that. But like I said, then you go and you get your interview. You're like, oh, why you here? What you doing? Oh, you've been here a year and a half now. But shouldn't you be on the retirement visa? That to me is what they're doing. They're really trying to push you if you're in it, and I get it, right? If you're here for 2.5 years and you're just, maybe you need to be on a retirement visa. And I get the logic of that. And, because it's a 180 from where it was, and I get it's a revenue builder also, 20,000 sitting there. They can invest that money and they could be making that 100,000, 200,000 over time. Right. So it does make sense from a financial standpoint on their side. It doesn't make sense on my side. And I don't want to buy property. That's another, I think, a bad financial move, right? After 55, it'll go down to 10K, right? After 55 with a pension. So there is also that pension piece that you got to show a pension coming in. So I don't know when I'll take Social Security. I don't necessarily have to take it right away. I haven't looked fully of what makes the most sense for me financially at Social Security, just because I am 53, about to be 54. So I'm a ways off from that. It might not make sense for me to take Social Security for a while. So I might not have that financial requirement for that, right? Because I don't have a pension or any of that stuff. I got money, but I don't have what they require. Yeah, I mean, if I could show them $1 million in bank and be like, yeah, here's 10 grand, right? So yeah, it's just, yeah, it's a little bit, yeah, Cambodia. Yeah, a couple of areas. And I'll be honest with you, a lot of guys are talking Cambodia right now. They really are. $300, I think it was $300 a year for the visa, for the retirement visa. $300 for the year. And then you base out there. And like I said, for me, it really gives me really good motorcycle access too. And one, honestly, guys, too, the main reason why I moved to this country was the friendly people. And I do love the friendly people here, and that is phenomenal. I'm also hearing the same about Cambodia. You've got a really friendly, warm culture that is also there. Thailand, it just didn't appeal to me. Not that they're unfriendly, but not like here. So I'm really excited about exploring that region and setting up a base out there. Yes, hey buddy, yes, I'm still available to be your best. Yeah, we all need a break from LeSean. Yes, right? And that's the other part too. As I'm in this inquiry, I'm starting to see the foods and that are over there. And I mean, just come on, man, right? Look, and I think there's people make a big deal about the food here, and it is if you don't cook. Or if you don't have strategies around that. But if you have a helper or a spouse or something like that, you can actually eat really healthy here. I mean, just fresh foods and all that stuff are abundant. So, but it does require either you cooking or being smart about it and hiring somebody to cook for you, right? I've heard that a few vloggers have gotten that offer. Yes, the dating one or the motorcycle CarPlay system. Yeah. The dating one, all of them do, right? They all get the offer from, dating site to kind of, hey, you want to promote this site? And some of them make pretty good money. I know a guy who's making, I think, $500 a month, but he never uses that service, because there's better free services out there. It's ridiculous. It's like, why would you? Yeah, anyways. So I'm really happy to get an offer from a company that, one, I'm really excited about using. I see the value in it. The tire pressure system, the GPS, the navigation. I could remove my phone from the bar. The vibration kind of ruins the camera, right? On these phones. I can't even remember. Was it iPhone 10? I think I swapped out that phone 3 times from vibration from motorcycle bar, right? Because all that vibration messes with the innards. So, anyways, really excited about having this system. I've never used one before, and then the camera feature. I'll have 2 cameras. Not that, I may use it for content, but really, I mean, if you got a rear-facing camera and a front-facing camera, my accident in the United States, if I would have had that system, that would have been changing for sure. It's just incredible that to have a record of your while you're riding. And then, if, like I said, if accidents happen, especially here in this country too, where everything's your fault, now you've got recording of what's going on. I'm really, really excited about that system. If you're leaving, oh Smack, if you're leaving, you'll no longer need me. What the hell, buddy? Yeah, Mike. So I'm not leaving the Philippines. I'm gonna be here in this country. However, I can see over the next couple of years how I might be spending more time in different areas in different countries, and really just honor the visa that I'm on, which is a tourist visa, and be more of a tourist visa here in this country versus a resident, because there really isn't a visa that works for me. There really isn't. The tourist visa kind of used to work for me as it was when I moved here 2 years ago, but now as they're like cracking down and really pushing us towards what they define as the proper visa, right? Which, they can do that. Then those visas don't really work for me. The 20 grand sitting there earning no interest for me that's just bad financial decision for me. Not for everybody, but for me, that makes zero sense. Yeah, you can earn 8% on that money, and freaking over 20 years, that's 100,000, right? Over 30 years, that's 200,000. So that's just bad financial decision for me. And same with a condo, right? Like, why would I want to buy a condo? I mean, you look at the old Avita towers that are here, and then the new ones. That's when you look at, the old Avita towers are like, what, maybe 10, 15 years old now. They're completely run down. They got siding falling off that they don't replace. It just looks like garbage. And you want to dump money into real estate. I don't know, man. There's not a good option for me really with the visas, unfortunately. Wow, good to know about your plans. I guess you were just getting warmed up until now. Yeah, well, look, I think this is something we all need to be, kind of mindful of if we're coming out here. We need to be really fluid and dynamic. We do. We're in a country that has more natural disasters than any other place in the world, right? So we need to be ready, and have strategies around all of it. This isn't United States. It's not. We're in a foreign country and we're visitors. So things can change pretty quick. And I think us having strategies for either natural disasters or change in policies is really key if we're looking to make this Southeast region our home, right? And that's kind of what I'm seeing. It's like, all right, I need to get out. I need to set up a base somewhere, travel in between, and kind of be more of a tourist. And if I could travel out of the country every 5 months, I'm off the radar, right? I'm off the radar. Just getting ready here in Minnesota to watch the debate tonight. Oh, wow, man. So I timed it with the debate. That should be entertaining. Oh, that's funny. All right. Well, good luck with that. Yeah. I left some comments on the Facebook Live. All right. I'll look at that. Like, oh, camel toe needs to go, but I digress. Right? Yeah. Was listening to you talk about Cambodia. What the hell? So much for you flying over for the wedding. Yeah. Look, I just, like it was saying, it makes sense to kind of at least go look, at least start develop that plan B, which may turn into plan A. A lot of reasons. Like I was saying too, Mike, that motorcycling hub gives me access to that whole area, really all of Southeast Asia. I can then now go into with my bike instead of, just here in the Philippines. So like what I envision, throughout the next 12 months is making more and more trips over there, setting up a base over there, and then maybe being more there than here a year and a half from now, and then start travel all through that region, but then always come back here. Like I'll always have a base here, probably in Leyte, maybe Ormoc. So probably either in Ormoc or that area, kind of where I'm in now, the Ormoc area, or over in Davao City. So just kind of depends, right? But that's kind of what I'm looking to do. Probably right about the live stream clips. I heard shorts, yeah, can get you new watchers too. Yeah, it's just a kind of a great way to grow and develop, that. And I want to get the content out there, So it makes sense, I think, in a lot of ways. I did it a while ago, like I did it about a year ago, and then I kind of stopped doing it. So I really want to give it a run now for a good 6 months and see what it does. So yeah, we'll take a look 6 months from now. We're at what, 15,000 subs, and kind of see what that does. So it appears I won't get to your place until probably about 4. Yeah, no problem, man. Yep, sounds good. Take your time there, man. Yep. What do I do for healthcare? So healthcare, I use a company called MaxiCare, and I bought into that service. I think it's around, they have a silver plan, I thought, which is around 12,000 pesos for the year. And basically what it gives you is unlimited outpatient stuff. So you have access to doctors and clinics. Really cool, man, because I went and got changed my prescription from Viagra to Cialis. It's kind of running out. I stocked up right before I moved out here. I don't even know, but I was getting low on the Viagra, and I was talking. One of the cool things about being here around, there's just a bunch of men. We're all about the same age, and we all talk, right? So it's really cool in that way. And so, anyways, I went in and I was like, and they were all talking about how they actually prefer Cialis over Viagra. It's less side effects, and it's a daily deal, and you can be a little more spontaneous, right? So, long story short, with that is I went into my doctor and said, look, it's about ready to expire. And they're like, yeah, no problem. Here's a script, that kind of deal. So you can do stuff like that through MaxiCare. I really like them. And they're not necessarily all throughout the Philippines, that particular service. They are limited to here in Cebu. And I think they have some offices maybe in some of the bigger cities. They might even have office in Iloilo and that. But you can get into some of these local companies like that and get some insurance. Really cost effective and have access to doctors. It was really simple too. That example where I went and changed the prescription, I just walked in and then booked an appointment. I saw a doctor within 10 minutes. Really convenient, right? I also did all my lab work from there. I walked in, I ordered all my lab work, came back 3 or 4 days later when the labs were open, got my results within a couple weeks. So I'm really liking it. Now it's really outpatient. So it doesn't cover heart attack, any kind of emergency stroke or anything like that, but your kind of general stuff, big fan. And they have a lot of that type of services. You can find them in malls and stuff like that. You'll find those little clinics and stuff. I'm a big fan of MaxiCare though. In Asia, you might show up at immigration and not have what they need via the paperwork, income proof, and you might have to come back the next day with it, and they don't ask for it. Happens there. Yep. Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah. So some guys talked about in the community group how they had to make color copies and things like that. So there's some stuff coming, guys. And look, I think it all makes sense. They're really just trying to crack down on what do you call the offshore gambling stuff that's happening here. And they're trying to, trying to get rid of the sexpats and stuff like that. They're trying to bad people that are here. So, I mean, I get it. But for a guy who's here and living here, I do need something cost effective, affordable, and that. And, my options aren't really good. If they're really pushing us towards be on the right visa, and I get that, there isn't a visa that makes sense for me. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, hard to spend $9K on a bike, just have immigration send me away. Dude, I'm with you. That's exactly where I'm at. Exactly. It's like, man, I'm trying to build a future here. And then I got to show up for an appointment where a guy can be like, hey, you know what? We're not going to extend you this time for whatever reason. That makes me pretty unsettling. And that, you go in every 2 months. Now, look, another strategy that I have here is I'm using JRC. It's a visa consulting agency. They have offices all throughout the Philippines. They have one here in Cebu. I know they have one in Dumaguete. I think they have offices in Manila. I'm just using them. They handle all that stuff, right? I don't go into the office. I'm not subjected to random interviews. So that is another strategy, as well as looking at other places I could do more cost effective, going into JRC and having them handle it as well. I think they charge whatever, 1,500 pesos, 20, 25 bucks or whatever, right? It's a really small fee. And then I just leave my passport with them. I get it like a week later. I'll pick my passport back up with a new visa stamp. So that's another thing that I'm doing, a strategy around that. But you're absolutely right, man. And that's kind of what got me going with it. I was like, crap, man, I just bought this bike. I'm spending a lot of money in this economy where I'm not even sure if I could be here, or I'm going to get pushed, to a different visa or something like that. It was pretty eye-opening for me. I really don't think the BI are denying people. They're finally doing what they were supposed to in the past, which is ask questions. I think every country is doing the same thing. Yep. No, I get it. So what I understand is there's really no change in policy. And you're right. So what they're doing is what they should have been doing, I guess, the whole time. But the truth is it isn't what they were doing, right? You could get 6 months visas when I first moved here. You could, it was an option, and now it's not. The other thing that's different is they're doing interviews, which they weren't doing when I first moved here. So that's just kind of, to me, it's a direction that. And then if you listen to that video with JR and Paul, with the type of questions that JR is speculating that's going to be there, it's like, all right, you've been here for a year and a half, you've been here for 2 years, but you're on a tourist visa. Shouldn't you be on X visa, right? So they're really moving you towards that, which for me, that's a problem, right? I'm not going to do a 20 grand retirement visa. I'm just, like I said, that's a bad financial decision for me. But so that's what I get a little bit spooked about. Once you're 50 for Thailand or 55 in Cambodia, the yearly retirement visa is the way to go. Yep. For staying long-term in either country. Plus it's easier using an agent in Thailand. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. And that's kind of my concern, Roy, is they don't really have a good option. But if you've served in the military, man, really, that retirement visa here with $1,500 in the bank, I mean, that's just incredible. But if you didn't serve, then, your options can be a little bit limited, especially if you're not on a pension yet. So, yeah, yep. No, I'm right on. And that's kind of what I do. And like, look, I'll split my time, right? Like I'll have, like in this example, right? Like I'm looking to do, I'll spend the majority of my time, or not majority, but I'll spend months in Cambodia and then come back here and then, spend months here and then go back there, that kind of deal, right? 2 months back and forth kind of deal. And you do some trips, a tour around, maybe 2 months in, tour around the Cambodia region, maybe cruise up to Laos or whatever, and then come back here and spend 2 months touring around here. So that's kind of what I'm looking at doing, but having that base be over there where the visa is a lot more sustainable for me. And who knows, right? As policies change and things like that, that could change also. So I figured out the Philippines yearly visa comes out on $2 a day, around 700, but it's been a while. The math is off. Cambodia for 300 is nice, right? 300 for the year. Super cheap. Super cheap. Yeah. The Cambodia Dany game is different, so I've heard. It is, Russell, but it's not far off also from what I heard in the Philippines. It's not. I don't know. That's an interesting point. That's something, it'd be interesting. The president just fired BI commissioner. Yeah, changes are coming. Yep. Yeah, thanks, Hector. Yeah, welcome back, man. Yep. No, you're right. Changes are coming. And here's the thing that I'm starting to see, gentlemen, is ladies too, right? Whoever's here, is that the Philippines' thoughts towards foreigners is changing fast. It is changing fast. If you look at the guys that were here 5-6 years ago and the content that they were putting out and the conversations that they were having, I mean, even just look at the dating, right? Look at Rike's channel. Oh, you just walk down the mall and this girl. Not that way, man. Not that way. So it's really, really changing here. And the attitudes towards foreigners because of sexpats, really, I see. And a lot of other, like the offshore gambling stuff. But the sexpats that are coming here, man, are just absolutely destroying the reputation of the foreigners. It's horrible, man. I see it all the time. And they just, guys they're just sick of it. And the country's getting sick of it. The people are getting sick of it, and I don't blame them. I really don't. I don't blame them but the views of foreigners is changing. It is changing, and not for the better. And, we only have ourselves to blame for that. So be a good dude if you're coming here. Yeah, you might have to get the ukulele out and pay for retirement, right? No kidding. Where's Chris? Warming up is you? Yeah. Oh, too funny. Yes, warming up the uke. Warming up the uke. Interesting that the iPhone has gone bad due to vibration. I've always had this Samsung on my Harley handlebars and did 7,000 or more miles a year with no issues at all. Yeah. So it wasn't an issue I don't think they really knew about early on, but the vibration from the handlebar. So I use quad lock, and I do have a vibration dampener. But before that, they didn't have that vibration dampener, and I replaced my camera 3 times. And you could see it in the footage. It gets really warbly, right? Like when you're doing video, really, really bad. And just from that constant vibration, it totally messes up the innards of the phone. So, yeah, like I said, I think, 3 times I had to replace that camera. Hello, Chris. Yes, ¿cómo está, capo? Angel here from Fort Lauderdale. Yeah, man. Yeah. No, I'm good, man. Yeah. No, really good. Yeah, no, things are well. I started running again, so that's been nice. Back in the gym, working out hard, traveling around between Leyte and Cebu. I took another crew up to Billy Ron. We did a ride up to Billy Ron and hung out in Naval for a couple days. Beautiful time up there, and then just got back. I wasn't planning on being back early, but like I said, I wanted to help a guy out who's helping somebody out, right? So, but yeah, no, things are good, man. Yeah, things are really, really good. ¿Cómo está Imo at Lao, right? Yeah, things are well. Getting married and you can, get married and you can apply for the 13A visa, right? Maybe it's a little bit early on. No joke. Mary Rose is absolutely phenomenal. Great girl, man. Just incredible. But yeah, no, and look, if you also kind of look too what's been going on. You got Rike who got married. You got Gio who got married. Guys are getting married. Paul got married. So they could see the writing on the wall too. So yeah, it's really, really it's interesting to see. I think the next, maybe couple years how things kind of play out. I do suspect people kind of bounce around like I am to kind of other areas as the dust kind of settles. So it's better just to have a plan, right? Better to be ahead of it, especially for me, as I really have no desire to kind of live back in the States, right? I really want to kind of be out for the rest of my years, whether that be here in Southeast Asia or Central and South America, that kind of deal. So yeah. GS, why are you deleting my messages on your channel? I've lived in the Philippines for 10 years and no Tagalog Visaya. I gave life-saving advice. You keep deleting it. Why? So I don't think I've deleted any comments recently. Yeah, I haven't deleted anything recently. However, I do have a high filter set up on my comments. So there's different ways you can set up your comments to be kind of out there. I have actually one of the higher restrictions of comments. So like profanity or whatever, right? All that stuff gets filtered out. So it's not so much that I'm doing anything, it's the automation that is doing it. So it's something that you're putting in the comment that has it be deleted. I don't even see it. So it's not me going in there. I can't remember the last time I deleted a comment. It's nothing that I really do at all. It's nothing I can't even really think about. What I do as a way around that, I filter it. And what I have had to do, actually, I went in and I could see the hidden stuff. I don't go in there very often, maybe once a week, and then approve stuff as it gets mainly misfiltered. So I'll approve one just recently. So a guy made a comment and then it was, 2 days behind. But I'm not deleting it, brother. It's just something you're putting in there that the YouTube algorithm is saying, hey, this qualifies as whatever, and it's not going to post it. So it's not me, Brenton. That sounds like fun, Chris. Cambodia, Malaysia, possibly Japan. Yeah, absolutely, Bill. I'm actually really excited about it. I didn't, prior to this, I was just like, yeah, I'm going to stay in the Philippines. I'm going to travel over the Philippines. I had really no thought or intention of going out of the Philippines right now. I really didn't. I didn't. But now I definitely do. So I am too excited about it. And then when I started looking at Cambodia, I'm like, wow, really centralized region. I can get bikes out there. I can start doing this Vietnam trip that I'm hearing guys do. I can get into Thailand, and I can, maybe spend a month over in Thailand riding around there. So I'm actually really, the more I look at this, the more excited I get about setting up a base there in Cambodia, and traveling around there. So yeah, definitely more to come. But this is early on, guys. This really is, within a couple of weeks of me kind of exploring how I want to set this up. This has been the most I've heard you talking negatively about being there. Yes, it's actually the first time you have. Really interesting, Mike. Yeah, it is, right? Maybe, look, I love it here. I do love it here. I love the people here. I love a lot about it. However, there are like the things with the visa spooks me. It makes me, like gentlemen saying, wow, I just 9,000 on a motorcycle. And, for the first time, I'm just starting to realize that the visa situation is changing, and it might not go in my favor. And it would be wise for me now to start looking at alternatives versus waiting until I actually have a problem, right? So that's where I'm at, Mike, with it. I do love being here. I love this country. I love the people. I love everything around being here. My reasons for being here, focus on health, being around a happy, friendly environment, they're still the same. And it's none of that. I just feel that these changes that are being made, with the visas, make it unstable enough for me where I need to kind of look at alternatives. But do I love being here? Do I love this country? Absolutely, man. I do. I love the people here, man. I get what you're saying, though, Mike. Yeah, I do hear you. And it's just concerning for me. And it's a disappointment in a lot of ways, right? I love the outdoor nature of it. I'm an outdoorsy guy. I bought tents. I got sleeping pads and all that stuff. I want to do like backpacking and camping, like moto camping around this country. I'm still going to be here doing it. But at the flip side, for me to spend 20,000 for a campsite, that's just a financially bad decision. It's so bad. So I have to kind of pivot quick, or like pivot and get set up, right, for another area of where I can spend the rest of my years. And, hopefully that's here. I would love to buy some land and build a home in kind of that Ormoc region. I would love to, and that still may happen. But I would be an idiot to not start looking out to other areas to see where I can go. If the Philippines government says, hey, you know what? You've been here 2 years now on a tourist visa. It's time that you get a retirement visa, right? And I feel like that's potentially what could happen. Malaysia does look interesting, inexpensive, English speaking. Yeah, absolutely. Ever since around 2006, Southeast Asia lost its off the rails old school charm, where the people were old school but mixed with Asian gentleness, if you will. Yep, you sort of missed the golden era, in my opinion. I think you're right on. No, you're right. Yep, right around. Yeah, I heard. Well, a lot of guys talk about, since the pandemic and that kind of deal, like things never kind of got back to where it was. So the thing I'm noticing is I'm traveling around the province areas. I see the Philippines that I heard about when I was doing my investigation, when I was doing the research and coming out here. So whatever, I've been here a year and a half, almost 2 years. So 3 years ago. So when I get out in the provinces, I'm seeing that, like really friendly, smile people, really flirty, innocent kind of behavior. I see that. I don't see that here in Cebu City. I don't see it in Manila, for the most part, right? So that's the kind of Philippines that I heard about, and it is there, but that kind of makes you look at, well, what's happening, right? And is that a trend that will slowly transition out to the provinces, right? It's something, right? Something to kind of look at. Yeah, but you can still get that really authentic, great, friendly, innocent experience out kind of outside the cities. Wow, I don't take any pills. I'm 71 already, and I found that eating healthy and fitness regimen works for me. Taking those pills can damage your heart in the long term, in my opinion. Got it. Yeah, I need to do a little more work on that. I don't have a medical background. I can tell you, Roy, that it's a huge difference, and especially to the guys that I talk with. One of the things I like from switching from Viagra to Cialis is honestly my workouts and my routines. I mean, I feel like I'm able to lift more. I don't fatigue as easily. Like it's opening up my blood vessels and allowing for more blood flow. I'm a big fan. And then of course that aspect of it where, it's, let's see, how do I want to talk about this in a PG-13 manner? I feel like I'm like in my 20s again in a lot of ways. It's really noticeable. I would say probably a 40% difference for me and that. And, who doesn't want that, right? But I understand, the long-term side effects and things like that of those pills. I do know with Viagra, I was actually getting pretty bad headaches. So I was prescribed by my doctor a 50 milligram pill, which after talking with the guys are like, damn, that's freaking, like most people take whatever 20 or 10, I think was the normal. But so that could have been, the headache stuff. And I do kind of like the as needed aspect of that. So yeah, I've recently made the switch over to Cialis, maybe 2 weeks now. And I like it. Like I said, for even for the enhancing like my sports and activities around that. But yeah, today is safer, easier, more like home, probably better, but the vibe is not the same. That's life, but it was special in a different way until toy phones. Yep. Yeah, no, I hear a lot of people have that same comment where the internet, the phones, when all that happened, kind of things changed around. I still like the experiences in the provinces, though. I really do like that. You get friendly people and that whole deal out there. You really do. Sorry, I was fixing my shirt. Yeah. The plus side is it will broaden your channel by setting up other countries. Long term, it may be a win for you. Paul, I'm right with you. I think it's only going to benefit me. And as someone who, looking to grow and develop the channel, absolutely, it's going to give you guys different perspective, different content. I'm really excited as a motorcyclist too to explore, some other regions. I still have a lot of places to do here in the Philippines, but the truth is too is you're limited, here in the Philippines to, where I can see myself, riding out in the next couple of years, running out of kind of. Well, maybe not. I can always ride back through some things too, but but you get what I'm saying. I've opened myself up to Vietnam, opened us Thailand, Cambodia, Laos, that whole region. I can then open up and explore and do some stuff. So I'm actually really excited about it in many, many, many ways. As long as you follow the immigration rules and be polite to authorities, you'll be fine. They've tightened up on abusive Chinese tourists. I think you're right there, but Mr. Q, from my understanding also, and I think you're right. But they're also asking you these questions. You've been here a year and a half on a tourist visa. That's where I get concerned. That's where I'm like, wait a minute here. Is it that? Is it the Chinese tourists? Is it sexpats? Is it that? Or is it just, hey, you know what? There's a revenue that we're missing out on. Let's get these guys who are living here on retirement visas. Or whatever, maybe not even that. Let's get these guys, let's get the tourists on tourist visas. Let's get the residents, the people who live in here on retirement visas. Maybe that, right? Who knows? It's speculation, but look, it makes sense. I get that, right? It's just when you look at 2 years ago, it is a 180, a complete 180 from where it was, right? The whole world is sick of the whole world. We're sick of us there. It's global. Yep. Yeah, it really is interesting, isn't it? For most retirees, 62 on Social Security, finding a visa that works is not that big of an issue. Yep. If you are not married and or don't receive a pension, you will have limited options. Yeah. Yeah, good point. Yeah, I do think in Cambodia it's also 55 for that visa. So I got one more year on that. But even if I was 55 here in this country, I'd still need a pension, which I don't have. In Cambodia, I could be 55 with no pension, but prove sufficient income, and that's all I need there. And I believe Thailand is very similar. So yeah, I think there's different options throughout the world. But you're right. Yep. the big thing is pension. Even look, I may not take Social Security until I'm whatever 70. I might not need to. So for a pension requirement, versus what if I got $1 million in the bank? Do I really need to show you that I'm making $1,500 a month in a pension? When I got a couple million in investments? I mean, come on, right? Doesn't that seem a little backwards? And then I got to pull 20 grand out and get taxed on that and have it sit there and not earn. I made 30% of my money last year, right? That's some money, especially you take that 20 grand over time. It's not a good financial decision. And then, your other alternatives regarding buying property, we've talked about this 100 times, right? That's also a bad financial investment. So I don't know, man. Yeah. Have you spent time in Thailand? You don't seem to have much love for the country. Roy, you're right. I've never been to Thailand. There's some things about it that don't appeal to me, but I'm willing to try it out. Like the thing about being in Cambodia, driving around, being through there. I will be traveling through that area, I would suspect at some point, but to live there, maybe potentially. Look, the main reason why I came to this particular region was the people, the friendliness of the people. I don't necessarily get, and there's some language barriers there as well that could kind of, be a play in that. But just the Philippines people are spectacular in that regard. Walk down the street, hi, how are you, hello, just this curiosity, this friendly nature that you might not have anywhere else in the world. I'm hearing Cambodia is very similar to that, which is why Thailand, especially if you're in the bigger areas, and similar here, if you're in Cebu, there's not a lot of that, and you get out to some of the more remote areas of Thailand, like here, and then now you have a language barrier. So it's not that I despise Thailand or any of that. I just feel for me there's better choices, given what I'm really after, right? Yeah, great question though, Roy. Yeah, true, Chris. The expats and bad apples vloggers taking crap. Yep, talking crap will ruin it for the good ones. Dude, it's just yeah, I got to be careful what I say about this. It's just gross. It's just gross. I've distanced myself. Yeah. Anyways. Yeah. These guys that are, yeah. You've said it. Oh, it's disgusting, man. Look, if you're here sleeping with teenage girls, man, you just, yeah. It's just, yeah. I was asked where do I see myself in 10 years? I pointed in that direction and said over there. Given what you're saying about the changes, I'm pondering how much, yeah, so I get it. Look, I think this goes back to something that we all need to look at, which is what are our other options? And even before these changes that are here now and are coming down, it's something that we need to have. And we need to have plans. All right, where are we going to go? What if this doesn't work out? Where do we go? And that's kind of what I'm doing now. And, it's just a precaution. Is a lot of people talked about, like, look, go to your immigration, have the interview, talk about how you love traveling around this country and you're having a good time and whatever, that kind of stuff. Dress up, be presentable, be respectful, that kind of way, and you're just going to be just fine, right? So there's very much that, but I also feel like we need to be prepared for what if not, right? What if not? Or what if, there is a big natural disaster, like we talk about earthquakes, volcanoes, typhoons. Where else we want to go? We are tourists, right? We're tourists. Sitting here in Cebu with a freaking super typhoon is probably not the smartest thing for me to do, right? Versus hop on a plane and go to Davao City or a place over in Cambodia, right? So I think there's just strategies that there's a mindset that we need to have when we're coming over here, especially if we're looking at this to make our home. We need to have plans. We need to have evacuation. We need to have alternatives. Presidents change, administrations change, all of that, right? Even in Cambodia, right? I need to have a plan. What if this doesn't work out? Where do I go, right? Unfortunately, until we get some of these visas where we can be more long term, it is that, So yeah, no, it is a concern, but there's a solution for the problem. There really is, and that's kind of my inquiry right now. What's the solution for this problem? All right, great. Maybe Cambodia part time, split my time between there and here. Maybe get out of the country every 5 months, so I'm off the radar and I don't need an exit clearance, right? That's and out of the country every 5 months was something I was looking to do even before I moved here 2 years ago. It was because it was something I heard other people doing. I think even more so now, it is going to be more commonplace, right? And in Thailand, a lot of guys are doing that. They're doing visa runs, right? So this is kind of in line with what other guys are doing in Southeast Asia. Yes, most girls want an expat to get USA citizenship. Probably like in South and Central America, that's probably true. Here, it's not really an issue. They're not looking for citizenship. And honestly, most Filipinos, not all, but there's quite a few that they don't even want to go to United States, right? And even if they said they did, I guarantee within 6 months, they would be like, get me back to the Philippines, right? Just because they're family. I think they would struggle being away from their family. But yeah, I think in other parts of the country, you're absolutely right. Other parts of the world, you're right. Not so much in this country. They do want to get married. They do very much want that, but it's not about the citizenship. Yeah, land is overpriced. Yeah. No worries. Yeah, come on over, man. I'm home. Yeah, come on over. Let me know if you need anything. I can see your messages too on Facebook. So yeah, come on over, brother. I'm here. We'll get some brunch. Yep. When Old Dog left the Philippines to go to Vietnam, he was like sick in love, Old Dog puppy, complaining about the lack of warmth from the locals. Sort of funny, but I get it. Yeah. So Vietnam, is on my radar, but I get it. The friendliness of people may not be there. That's kind of what I get about Vietnam and Thailand. I think are very similar in that regard. But I hear Vietnam, especially the younger generation, are really friendly and curious. And that's really what I'm looking for, guys. I just really want a friendly environment. I'm tired of being around angry people. I am. I'm tired of hate culture. I'm absolutely tired of hate culture. And I really I want to be around friendly, happy people, because then it not that it allows me to be friendly and happy, but it creates a space for that, right? It creates a space for a friendly, happy environment when you're around friendly, happy people. I love it. I love the curiosity. I love being out in the provinces. Gosh, it was so cute. We're out there filming, and it's in Leyte, Balampan Leyte, in the middle of nowhere. And I got my camera and I'm shooting this video out there. And these two adorable kids walk up and they're just standing there, eyes as big as cookies, right? Just kind of looking at what's going on and what's doing. And it's just I love that. I love the innocence and the sweetness of this country. And absolutely it puts a smile on my face, makes me so happy. And that's what I love. That's what I kind of want more of. So yeah. Did I skip anything here? Yeah. I know you love it there. The grass isn't always greener on the other side, brother. You have found a happy place. I do think they will ever change this to a big revenue loss. Yeah, no, Mike, you're good. Mike, and look, like I said too, this is just me kind of thinking through it now and me developing a plan to kind of do that. There's many reasons. Visa alone, right? Forget about everything else but the visa. Visa alone is a good reason, but also the motorcycling, getting out, having a base over there that I can kind of tour around with. That's another reason why. There's a lot of reasons why. As the more I look at this, the more it's like, wow, this would be incredible, right? Not just the visas, but everything else, the motorcycling, just the different environment, having a backup plan. One of the cool things, even just having this other apartment in Leyte, bouncing back and forth, I just really love that. So keeping a place out here, but then having a place in another country too, it's very affordable, so that's kind of what I'm doing. That's kind of what I'm looking at. But yeah, and it's not necessarily grass is greener, and I get what you're saying though. I really do get that, Mike. But having a base out there that would open up more riding and stuff would be great. You can find humble, authentic, beautiful people in the inner city church right here in the good old USA. Good for you, Cargo. I'm happy that that's there, man. I really am. I get it. And that was one of the things too, I think, that happened in the pandemic, right? If you didn't have a good church or a good, community that you can kind of be in and support on, man, you were in trouble, right? So I'm glad that you got that there. I really am. I did not have that at all. I really didn't. I did not have a good structure. I just filed for divorce, so really my whole identity was really shifting. So yeah, that was kind of one of the reasons why I left, as I just realized, I gotta, if you want to know your future, just look in your past, right? And my future was, isolation and by myself. So, I realized, like, boom, I need to make a change, and I did, So yeah, but good for you, man. I am happy. Yeah, good for you. Never buy land, real estate, cars, or motorbikes, and never get married. You will thank yourself later. You're welcome. Stay safe, my friends. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, the motorbike, I get what you're saying. The motorbike though, it's like, whatever. I mean, really, if whatever, the bike is that. I could maybe sell it, but if I didn't even have to sell it, whatever. If I lost it, it'd be, because I do think I'm gonna get my good use out of that bike. So, but yeah, the real estate on the other hand, and there again, right? It just depends on your budget, depends on your money. If you're like, whatever, a couple $100,000 isn't a big deal, then yeah, right? Real estate makes sense. For me, right? 10,000, 10,000, whatever. But yeah, a couple $100,000 is a big deal for me. So the real estate doesn't make sense. But that's the guys that I feel like, buy a house, whatever. It doesn't matter to me. A couple $100,000 isn't much. Those are the guys I think it makes sense for. But yeah, it just depends. But you're right, and all the other stuff. Yeah. Better than you, 71. I will take pills. Yeah, great charm, buddy. Hope. Yeah, almost every guy I know is taking some sort of pill, man. Yep, it's been really, and that's been really cool, man. Just whatever 56-year-old guys hanging out, just chatting about life. It's really it's good times. If it flies, floats, rent it. Yes. Yep, I've heard that before. Yep. You can hang your laundry from it. Yeah. So there's this guy in town. He's in his late 30s. He's like, dude, let me try one of those, right? Let me see what he's like. So I said, all right, man, just say, here you do, your headaches and stuff, whatever. I said, look, these are 50 milligrams. This is Viagra, right? It's a 50 milligram, maybe cut it in half and whatever. So he comes back the day or two later. Says, man, it didn't do anything. I was like, well, that's because you're 30 and not 50. It doesn't change your physical abilities. It just brings you back to what you could do in those days. So it's just really kind of funny, right? It's a good example of it, really. It doesn't, anyways, it's hard to have this conversation, right? Come on. See other countries while you're still young and able. Yeah, Roy, absolutely. So much to experience and have memories when you're older, like me. Yeah, Roy, and that is such another piece of it. That really is, man. It really is. Get out and see some other areas. Totally. I'm with you. I'm absolutely with you. Make sure you swallow your Viagra properly. Otherwise, you'll end up with a stiff neck. Right? Oh, my gosh. Discerning Dash. Chris, last time you said you were pushing 3K in Cebu City. Now that you have a traditional woman, is it still the same? And what budget do you think is good for 2 people in Cebu City? Yes. Oh, budget. I haven't really looked at my budget recently. Yeah. My budget is whacked right now just because of buying that bike, kind of threw it off a little bit and accessorizing it out. I'll have to look again at the budget, but I would say yes. I would say So look, here's the thing about this type of deal. It really kind of depends on where you live. Your biggest piece of that budget is going to be housing. So if you live, like, look at my province place, right? 6,000 pesos versus here, the average place rents for like, whatever. This type of place will rent for 80,000, right? So, but a nice one bedroom, you're talking about 40,000 pesos. So, but if you can just even get out a little bit out of these expat bubbles where the prices are jacked up, you can live really, really well on 2,000, 2,500 for two people. You can. And if you go out to the provinces, some of the more remote areas, and get a nice house, you can live really, really well on 2,000 to 3,000, really well. Travel around, do stuff. But yeah, absolutely. I'd say 2,000 to 3,000 is a good budget. And some of that just too depends on the Filipina, and do you have extra costs associated with her? Are you supporting other people kind of deal, right? So there is a lot to kind of factor in that budget. But yeah, I'd say 2,000 to 3,000 is good. Yeah, they should enforce the rules. Yeah, no, it's true. It's true. It's what they're doing is saying, hey, you know what? You've been here for 2 years. You should look at a retirement visa. I get it. It's different. That's a departure from where it was when I first moved here, right? Oh, come on. That's my advice. You shouldn't take those pills on a talk to any doctor. You shouldn't take those pills. Okay. All right. Yeah, talk to a doctor. Sounds like they're trying to weed out the Chinese foreigners due to gambling and spying. Yes, Stephen, I think you're right. And that was a measure too that they did with the SIM cards too, right? When I first got here, that was something they were doing too with the SIM cards, and the same thing. However, if what's being passed down is, hey, if someone's been here for a year, talk to them about that and move them towards different visas, then that's different, right? And that's kind of what we're hearing. That's what we're hearing. If someone truly loved the Philippines, and if you aren't broke, 20K is not a big deal yet if you can invest it. But if 20K breaks the guy, one, you probably can't afford to live there, or two, you don't really love it. That's a good point, Bob. It is a good point. And no, it's a good point. Absolutely. I agree with that wholeheartedly. What my strategy is around that, Bob, is go over to Cambodia, get a visa for 300, and then come back and forth to the Philippines where I don't even have to do that, right? I think there's a bunch of ways to skin that. There really is. There's a bunch of different strategies. For me, pulling 20K out of investments, which really probably, if you look at taxes and everything, it's more like 30K to go sit in an account which I'm earning no interest on. I mean, it's not a good strategy when I can go to another place right nearby and I can get a visa for $300 a year and live similarly and travel back and forth. Maybe that makes more sense. And it's going to be up to the individual. But to your point though, is this, and I acknowledge it fully. You got to have enough money to be here. You really do. You got to have enough money to be here, and you got to be smart. To me, it's a very poor financial decision to stick 20 grand in a bank earning no money when I have better options, right? It's like kind of moving here to the Philippines and dating a Westerner. Why the hell would you do that? Right? It's just, there's better options. There's so much better options. And for me, that's kind of what I'm realizing. It's, why the heck would I do that, right? When there's so much better, when there's better options, I need to get some sleep, mate. Yeah, 2 a.m. in London. Yeah, take care, man. Have a good night. Have a good night, man. Yeah, I've been living abroad now for over 5 years. I only have a small backpack, can leave anytime. Always have another plan. And Roy, I think that's another way to be here in this country that I'm just not. I mean, look at me, man. And I'm not a minimalist. I'm not. I like technology. I like gadgets. I like motorcycles. I'm getting tents and sleeping gear and that. I'm not the kind of guy that travels around by suitcase. I need a base. I need a place to build stuff. I like going to gyms and working out and exercising. I'm really much a guy who wants to build a base, maybe 2 bases around this region, and then kind of bounce back and forth between those. I fully envision having a full setup in Cambodia with 1 or 2 motorcycles and travel around there, as well as here in this country, right? take that 20 grand and then do that kind of stuff with it versus, you know what I'm saying? So that's kind of what I envision. But hey, look, nothing wrong with that way either, right? And I know a lot of guys are also like that, where, you know what, I'm here in a suitcase, man. I gave up collecting stuff when I moved here, and I get it. Yep. Can you get MaxiCare when you're outside the Philippines? Is that only local? It's only local. Yep. Yeah, Deborah, it's only local. Yeah. But I'm a big fan of it. And I would think that so MaxiCare, I think, is also out in Ormoc. They're definitely here in Cebu. They might even be out in Iloilo. But I think it is only here in the Philippines. Yeah. I ain't leaving. No, I'm not leaving. I'm going to be here in this country, but I'm going to kind of split my time in between other places and look for other alternatives for sure. Yeah. Backup plan is wait until denied. Yeah. Backup plan is wait until denied. Even if then never do a visa run and then decide the SRRV or just leave every 3 to 5 months. Yep. It takes 2 trips back to my home in Arizona, 2 trips Southeast Asia. Yep. No, I hear you. I get it. My backup plan, given my nature, I want to have something in place and have something in place over there to kind of have it, just have it set up. Because I don't actually have a good exit strategy back to United States. I can go back to Florida and that would be it. But yeah, this whole region for me is home for a while, and potentially Central or South America down the road. Who knows, right? Yeah, but that's good, Bob. Yep. What's 9,000? What's a motorbike worth in 20 years? Yeah, I hear you. But it's just traveling around. You need transportation, right? I need to get around the city. I need transportation. I don't need to stick 20 grand in a bank for a visa. I don't need to do that, right? I can go to other places. I can go to other options. I can buy other visas for 300. But transportation, I need to get around. If you're in Cebu City, you don't really need transportation. But if you're living in some of these remote areas like I am, you got to have it. You're not even getting groceries without transportation, right? Try living in Dumaguete without transportation. Now, granted, do you need to buy a $9,000 motorcycle? No, you can buy. I did a video on the Honda ADV 160, and that's 3 grand. But I get what you're saying. But to me, it's just there's better ways to kind of move that around, right? So it depends on what you're up to. Transportation for me is a priority, kind of given where I live and what I'm up to, and kind of my channel too. Yeah. If the U.S. stock goes up 20%, then you'll have your 20K. Yeah. Love your happy uplifting videos and all the friends that you draw to you. Yeah. No, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. That's true. But like I said, though, for me, I think bouncing back and forth, having a place somewhere else in this region, I think that's really sharp. I think that's a smart move for me. And then set up maybe more of a base there, and then come stay here a couple months, kind of go back and forth kind of deal. A couple months here, a couple months there. Yep. The Italians. This is the god, aka 6 hour. You knew how to party, right? Oh, Paul, Chris did the math for you. 10 years at 28% return is 40,000. Yeah, no, it's not. Actually, you need to redo that math. Yeah, you're not taking account for yeah, you need to redo that math. That's not right, actually. Here, where's chatbot? Chatbot GBT. I think I did it recently. Interest calculation example. After 20 years at 8% interest, a 20,000 investment would grow approximately 93,205 if it compounded annually. Your math is a little bit off. Yeah. And over 30 years, check this out. Over 30 years at 8% interest, it would grow approximately $201,000. Yeah, man. That's at 8%, which is the average the stock market returns. Right? So, yeah, a little bit different than 44,000. Officer Expat, what's up? I am not working out this morning. I got doing a live and then meeting a guy who's coming into town who's donating some blood. So I will not be working out this morning. Value of having a car and advanced life scooters is well worth it. Every day, a car for rate. Yeah, it is. You kind of need transportation in some of these areas, like Cebu City, Manila, probably not. Grab, motor taxi, definitely a car in Cebu City is more of a hindrance than it is a help. But you get out of Cebu, you get in some of these other areas, you really need some sort of transportation and grocery shopping and stuff like that. It's not as set up like in Leyte and Palawan. No way. You'd have to have transportation. Yeah, check out the Filipino Joe. He lives on just $250 per month, right? My budget in the provinces is nothing. Guys, my rent out there is 6,000 pesos. My internet is whatever, 1,500 pesos. It is dirt cheap out there, man. Dirt cheap. Deborah, I'm a 71 female. Sounds good, Richard. I got your message. See you soon. Yeah, I'm a 71 female, wrinkles, but adventuresome. I'm looking at Cambodia for a home base and even taking motorcycle lessons in Cambodia so I can travel there. Oh, nice. Oh, good for you, girl. Good for you, man. Love it. I love it. Yes. Oh, so beautiful. Yeah, travel to Laos and Thailand and yeah, I will see you there. Oh, so let's go ride. Let's go ride. Absolutely love it. So beautiful. Love it. Yeah, if you can live like Joe for $250 per month, a few years in income between 2 to 10, you will reach fire fast. Yeah, it can be cheap. Yeah, after 20 years, 8% interest, 200,000 would go to approximately 93,000 if compounded annually, right? Yep. Oh wait, did I copy? Okay, yeah. After 30 years at 8% interest, 20,000 would grow approximately 201. That's some money. That is some money. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, so it's just not a bad. For me, it's not a good financial decision. It's just not, man. Transportation, kind of got to have. Housing, you got to have, right? But sticking 20 grand into a bank account and allowing someone else to get that money when I have other options in the region, I don't know. Just arrived yesterday, IT Park. Any meetups or gym rats want to hit it? Yeah, George. Yeah, we can. I think we could do some dinner tonight. I'll post something out there. Are you part of the community group? We could probably do some dinner tonight somewhere. I'll post something out. I would like to do an exploration trip in December, but don't know if it'll happen this year. Do you think Cebu? Do you think you'll be in Cebu the first weeks of December, Stephen? I should be in Cebu. I don't know, right? It is kind of week to week in a lot of ways as far as where I'm at and what I'm doing. I could be. The reason I say that is because Mary Rose will be out of school. So the thought is to be back here in Cebu City for like Christmas and kind of be around here. But we can also do some trips around that. So I should be though, Stephen. Yeah. I hope you're not leaving. I'm going to be over there in the next year to be biker buddies. No, Bill, I'm going to be around. It's not like, even if I did go to Cambodia, which it looks like I probably will, but even if I did go to Cambodia, I'm going to be always around the Philippines. Mary Rose is going to be here, but what I do envision is, maybe a couple weeks, a couple months over there, and then a couple weeks, a couple months over here, do more of a back and forth kind of deal, be more of a tourist of this country and not a resident. As that's what's being asked, I feel, right? Yeah, just lining myself with more integrity with the current immigration rules is kind of what I see doing, because that's kind of what they're looking for. They want if you're a tourist, here on a tourist visa, be a tourist. If you're going to be a resident, get a resident visa of some sort, right? And unfortunately, right now the resident visas don't work for me. Cool. Maybe we could just take a bike. Yeah, man. Let's go ride. I'm down. Yeah, let's go ride. Would you say? Yeah. No, I'm down. Let's go riding. Let's go ride Southeast Asia. You know, let's go ride. I love the riding here in the Philippines. Don't get me wrong, and I'm really excited about uh, reviewing this. What do you call it? OC? Yeah, this dash cam stuff. I mean, that's going to be great. I'm so excited about that. Yeah. Cambodia, as a tourist, you can only stay for 2 months and then do a visa run, right? So, and Cambodia, what I understand is when you get there, you get 30. You can apply on. You could do electronic visa before you get there. But the coaching that I saw on that is just do it when you get there, and you get 30 days. And then there is a special visa. You want to get the business visa because that visa is the one that you can upgrade to a retirement one. So it's very similar to here, where you get X amount of days on arrival, and then you can work with a visa consulting agency there also to upgrade your visa to a more of a permanent type visa, like a retirement visa. So initially, this won't be an issue for me, as I'll just be kind of there checking it out. But down the road, as I turn, I'll be 54 in November, so then I'll be 55 a year from now. So really, over the next year, I'll be kind of setting up wherever it makes most sense for visa-wise in Southeast Asia. So that's kind of my strategy around that. But yeah, it's similar where you can get. I think you get 30 days for your first visa. Next year, I will be there with my bags. We can travel. Let's go, man. I'm down. I just took some guys up to Bilirang. Beautiful. Back to Ulan Ulan Falls, up to Naval. Gorgeous. Love it. The riding up there is amazing. I love it. Yeah, the bike is amazing. Man, the bike is such a capable tour. Really a fan of the NX 500. Phenomenal machine. Got the bags all set up. Got the top box, the two panniers. You'll see it in some videos coming up. Incredible machine for touring. Really excited about that. So comfortable. Mary Rose is back on the back. She's almost falling asleep back there. She's just so comfortable, right? So, but yeah, it's I'm down, man. I'm down for exploring. Next kind of stuff I got coming up with touring. Well, I'm going to go back to Leyte, so I'll probably do some stuff there. But in mid-October, I've got Mascara Festival. So I'll be going out to the Mascara Festival. I'll ride out there, and then shoot that out there. So I'm excited about that. I got my hotel booked. I got everything set up there, so I'll be out there then. And I'm considering after that ends, because I'll be in Negros, just kind of do the Negros loop, work my way back down to kind of Dumaguete, and then maybe from there, from Dumaguete, ride all of northern Mindanao, and then back up through Leyte back to my apartment. So I'm suspecting all kind of through November and stuff, I'll probably be on the road. But that's kind of what I'm looking to do. Yeah, I have to get the bike to carry to me and my Filipina. Yeah. So, if you're looking to do a scooter, that ADV 160 is great. If you're looking to do a motorcycle, the Himalayan's great. The Honda NX 500 is great. The CF Moto 450 is great. So yeah, some options for sure. Not a ton, which is kind of good, right? You can also you could do this if you want to step up to the 650. You could do that too, right? The V-Strom, the Versus, those would also be good choices. Yeah. So there's some options for sure. Yep. Scooter wise, ADV 160 is probably your best bet for 2-up in the Philippines. But then motorcycle wise, like I said, NX 500, my bike, Enfield, CF Moto, all those are good. Yep. Yeah, lots of bikes coming out, honestly, in this range. Really a big fan of that. Do not get MaxiCare. Get MaxiCard. They're premium, way cheaper. They offer dental as well. Yep. And me and my wife looked at the prices. The MetaCard offers more. It is accepted in high-end clinics. You're absolutely right. And actually, that is what I got. I think it was 60-something thousand for the year. You can get dental care. And I have access to all the Changhua hospitals too. So that is what I have. And you're right. I'm a fan of MaxiCare. I like it for Cebu City as health insurance option. Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, thanks for pointing that out. Honda ADV 350. It would be a great bike, Bill, but unfortunately, it's not available in the Philippines, so you can't get it. They don't offer it. Not yet anyways. Could, but right now, not. Yeah. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. All right. What else we got here? How long have we been on? We've been on an hour and a half. We're all cut up in comments. Oh, anything else? I'm sore. Worked out. Oh my gosh, my trainer's killing me. Almost done with my sessions. Actually, I've only got a couple more left. I trained today, and then I train tomorrow. I think I'm done with my package. So I'm going to try out some other gyms too out of IT Park. Probably stay with Anytime Fitness, but I'm going to check out some other branches and work out some other areas, and then sign up for a gym too over and where Mary Rose is at. So yeah. Yep. What else is going on? Any other questions? Where are we at? Yeah, I worked out over the weekend, changed out all my underflooring, plumbing, yeah, to a fix. I'm sore too. Yeah. It's amazing as we get older, right? Just kind of moving differently. Really gets us. But yeah, nice. Change out all the underfloor plumbing. A lot of work. Did you find a good gym in Palapont? Yeah, there is. There's a gym there. It's I think 1,200 pesos for the month. It's kind of small, but it'll have everything I need. It's fine. So I already cased it out, checked it out. I was planning on getting that membership, but then I came right back here. I haven't been gone. I don't think I've been gone a week, and then came back. So I'll be when I head out here in the next couple of days back to Leyte, I'll go ahead and sign up for that and get my routine working out there again. So really excited about that. I'm also excited to be running again. I hadn't been running in probably 4 months. So I ran last night. Trying to think, I ran for 20 minutes. It was hard, but it felt good too. Felt good to get it done. It's amazing how many young, hot girls that say they will date 60-year-old guys. Philip, I cannot believe it. I'm blown away by my current girlfriend. Cute, adorable, 21, and we have a great relationship. We have a good time together. It blows me away. It really does. It's pretty amazing. And, I get approached by girls. Like other guys are getting approached by girls. It's common, man. It's the dating here is pretty spectacular in that regard. I didn't move here for that, but heck, right? It's there. So, but yeah, no, it is. It's good. All right. Just kind of checking some messages. I got a gentleman on the way over. Yes. Yeah. No worries, Bill. Yeah. Thanks for being here. Look forward to you coming out, and hopefully we'll connect up when you get out here for sure. Be nice. What else we got going on, guys? That freak people out with the visa stuff? I get it, man. I get it. It's kind of it is a departure for me even too, right? It's just like, oh crap, man. I didn't think that one fully through, admittedly. I really didn't. I was like, yeah, I'm good. I could be here on a 3-year visa. Yeah, no problem. Well, 3 years is up. I leave the country, maybe go to Bangkok for a weekend, come back. I'm good. Not the case. Not the case. So it's got me a little bit like, all right. What's the plan now? And look, this isn't something I've ever even heard anyone else even talk about until maybe some people are kind of saying about it, but it's something we need to be aware of, gentlemen and ladies. We really do. We got to be prepared. We got to be looking at, all right, policies change, administrations change, attitudes towards foreigners change. Now what? Right? 2 years ago, when I was in your guys' shoes looking to come over here, everyone talked about, it's great. Just come over here. Spend 3 years on a tourist visa, leave and come back. And yeah, you walk out in the mall and girls dripping all over. Things are different, ladies and gentlemen. Things are different. They really are. So with that comes, every problem has a solution, right? So with that comes strategies to kind of, fix those problems, right? With the dating, it's getting out of the cities, going to provinces, being around good girls, not girls who are community bicycles, hanging out at the mall all the time, right? Getting out away from that. And with the visa stuff, it's all right. Well, maybe what are some of the other visa-friendly countries that are in the area that we can kind of bounce around? Other people, like in Thailand, they do visa runs and stuff like that. Maybe it's the strategy we start to employ here in this country, right? So it's just different. It's not the sky is falling by no means, but it is something that I feel we need to be prepared for. We really do as we come over here, and something that nobody was talking about a year and a half ago before I came out here, for sure. How are you enjoying living outside of Cebu? The province life is a bit different for sure. I love it, Kevin. I do love it. I love both, right? And I kind of talked about this before in a little bit of my living, my past 20 plus years in Colorado, living in the Denver area. I do like the city. I like city living, but I also like being able to get out, right? So a lot of what I would do there is I would live in the metro area, but then I would get up into the mountains and I'd go explore and I'd do stuff and then come back to the city, whatever, So I do similar here, where I'm here in the city and then I kind of go out and do stuff and then I come back. But, as I'm being out in some of these more province areas, I really love it. There is this thing though, like Pond for me is a little bit too small. I would much rather be in a little bit bigger city like Ormoc or Bye. Those two areas in particular were just beautiful. I like that. I like a little more of a restaurant. I like a mall to kind of get goods and services, that kind of deal. So I really like Ormoc a lot. I could see building out there, buying some land and building out in Ormoc, having my base be there. And then, like I said, kind of go back and forth. So I love it, man. I love it. Cebu City is great. I do feel Cebu City is a perfect place for us to start. But I kind of feel like I'm still in the West, right? I still feel like I don't feel like I'm in the United States as much as I did like in BGC, but it's just different out there, man. It's so like I was sharing the experience with the kids. I love that. I absolutely love that. Just these sweet, innocent kids coming up and watching, and just like I was an alien from a completely different planet. That's how they related to me, and it was just fun to see that curiosity in them, and just chatting with them, and hey, what's your name, and just really sweet, right? I love that type of life, and maybe I will go full province and kind of be out there. I don't know. I'm seeing as I go. Yeah, don't be afraid to marry. Just look to pick a good Filipino and make the best wives, in my opinion. I'm with you, man. I'm with you. I'm not. That was one of the things I struggled with in my divorce. Back 2019, is I really enjoyed being a husband. I just enjoyed it. I don't know. I felt like I had arrived, if that makes sense. I felt like, I don't know. I enjoyed this experience of being a husband. So I like the idea of marriage. I like the idea of having a partner and building on that. And I'm not the kind of guy that likes to date around and do that kind of deal. So I'm very much in that inquiry of finding that partner. I'm with a girl right now that's absolutely amazing, and it's very early on. We both acknowledge that. So marriage is off the table for the first year for both of us. She's got a lot going on with her stuff, and it's going like really incredible. So I'm with you. I don't like the guys that are constantly, date like 4 or 5 girls a week. It's like, why would you want to expose yourself to that chaos and drama? And, get to know somebody, get to know a woman, get to know a person, get to know them intimately, deeply, right? To me, that's so much more fulfilling than how many girls can I sleep with this week? I don't teach their own, right? And that's me. That's what I want. But I'm with you, man. And I'm not afraid at all. I'm not. I'm actually looking forward to that, right? I've heard that during the interview, a few guys said that they had a Philippine girlfriend, that you were taking it slow and not rushing into a marriage. They are good with that, and get your extension. I've heard that during the interview, a few guys said, yeah, taking it slow. Yep. Not rushing into marriage. Yeah, no. And the good Filipino will be good with that. I feel they'll be understanding, but here's one of the things though too, I think that's different about this culture is this whole date to marry thing that I didn't really understand at first. It is a culture where, the expectation is marriage at the end of that. And United States and the West, it's not, right? Like, yeah, we're going to date, we're going to be together, but marriage, we might not get married. And both people are kind of on the same area. Here it's not. And, I remember when I broke up with Joe, there was all this upset. It's like, well, I thought we were going to get married. And it's like, whoa, this is after 4 months, right? So there's just this whole, it's different. It is really different, if you're in this relationship date to marry and you break up, there is this kind of like what happened kind of way. Or in the West, it's like, all right, yeah, you know what? This didn't work out so well. Yeah, what are you doing? What are you going to do when your sweet deal, your condo is out? Yeah, Steven, I know, right? I don't know, man. It is a sweet deal. It is an incredible sweet deal. And this place is amazing. But here's the thing about this, and this is something I've noticed kind of throughout in a couple different aspects of it is when you're in a place like this, you don't go anywhere. There are times where I've just been days right here, just chilling, on the couch, chilling, wherever the heck that is at. I just chill out or go down to the pool. I'll never leave, right? Versus when I was in my studio over in Selena, I was out every day. So, and that's the same kind of thing too when I've noticed the same thing when I'm out traveling. So, perfect example is we were in Bohol. We had this just rundown hotel. It was just, dude, it was bad. We did need to go, but we went from one extreme to the other, right? So we went to the Hanan Resort in Bohol, beautiful 5-star resort. So when we're in the rundown place, we just slept there, man. We were out the whole time, just kind of doing crap. But when we went to Hanan Resort, we stayed in the resort the whole time. We didn't go anywhere. So something to look at around that is I think that's very true. If you're staying in a place like this, sometimes you don't go anywhere, but versus a smaller place where you have a tendency to experience a little bit more. Cambodia, less than 100 rental as a home base. Yeah. Yep. Deborah, I'm with you. I'll meet you out there. I'll meet you out there, girl. Let's go ride. Seriously, let's go ride. I'm down. I'm down, man. Let's go. I am so inspired by who you are. It's just really, really cool. I love it. I love it. Good for you. Good for you. Thailand now has a 5-year visa, but in November you must register and send your fingerprints before you travel there. Yeah, man. I think the Philippines will get on board. They don't have a good visa for me right now, and I think my situation applies to a lot of guys who are coming over here in their 50s who didn't serve in the military, and who are living off of cash. I have cash, but so anyways, I think they'll figure it out. They'll figure it out. I'm not the kind of guy I don't feel that they want to kick out. I really don't. I'm not a sexpat. I'm traveling around having a good time. But the truth is they don't have a good visa kind of for me. And the other countries do, right? In the area, including maybe Thailand has something coming up, right? That'll work. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I am excited. Like I said, it's an opportunity in a lot of ways to kind of expand and grow and develop in this region. Kevin K, when I ride around, I have many people yell out, "Hey, my friend," or call me Ago. I mean cousin. Oh, amigo. Most of the people, I have no idea who they are. Kids are always happy as well. Yeah, no, I love it, Kevin. I love province life. I love it, man. I really, really do. I love being out there. It's so simple. I feel like I'm camping in a lot of ways, but it's fine. I don't mind it. I don't mind it, but I love it. I'm a huge fan of the markets going down through there. I'm going to be shooting a lot of content from Palampong, just because I love that vibe. I like the energy that's out there. Allah is cousin in Bisaya. Okay. Yeah. Okuya. I say, is it Kuyo or Kuya? I never remember which. It's like brother. Yeah, I love it. Chris, I did not think Joe was who you should have married. Yeah, dating around gets tiring. And making it worse for actual wanting something serious. And I knew I wanted to marry my wife in the first month. Yep, I hear you. Yeah, and in hindsight, that was, let's see, what do I want to say about that? Yeah, I mean, I think we both knew early on that this was not a good fit, but we both kind of stayed for whatever reasons. And I was with you. This is a different dynamic right now. This is someone who I'm really enjoying being with, and now we're just kind of setting each other up for the future. So yeah, no, it's going well now, man. And look, I've said this before too, man. There are millions of girls here that are great. There are great girls, and it is kind of finding that one. But once you get a good one, man, look, you only need one good one. You really only need one really good one, guys. These guys, these guys that are traveling around dating 5-6 girls a week and say, oh yeah, I can't find one. You're full of crap, right? It's because that's not what you're interested in. You got to be honest with yourself. If you've been here for more than 6 months or a year, and you've dated 4 or 5 girls a week, that's your commitment, right? Is that because out of all those girls, you're gonna find a good one. I guarantee you've probably had, if you're dating whatever three girls a week even, and you're here for a year, you're committed to something completely different. It ain't marriage, it ain't relationship, right? So yeah, I call BS on a lot of that stuff that people are talking about. But anyways, for me, on the other hand, it was that. It was getting out. It was dating a little bit. It didn't take me long. I think, seriously, guys, I think I've dated, I don't even know, maybe like three girls, maybe 4. When I say that, I mean like over kind of like more than a week or any of that. I've kind of been on a couple like first dates and stuff like that where it's like, yeah, this doesn't work so well. But girls that I've dated more than maybe 2 weeks or so, it's really only been like 3 girls, and I kind of know pretty quickly. It's like, all right, yeah, this isn't a good fit kind of deal on that. So, and it really is amazing once you find a really caring, nurturing Filipina. It's just, man, it's just really, really cool. Yep, yeah, I'm with you, man. I'm with you. Basically, that's what he said. Yeah. It's just about picking a good woman who fits with what you're looking for, and it's not about the time. People, the other 5+ years, guy don't marry them and they break up. The guy is marrying in months. It's true. Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, I do. And Mary Rose is the same way as me in this regard. We're both about taking our time. She's got a lot going on in her world. So do I. Neither of us want to kind of jump in anything right away. And we're very much enjoying the experience of being together. I mean, absolutely enjoying it. And there's stuff to work on. There's stuff to look at, but it's going well, man. It's going well. Yeah. Yeah. Only fun besides are fond of shortcutting, even their words. It's true. It's true. Besides have tons of shortcuts in the language. I hear that a lot when people describe the language and how it's different from Tagalog. That there's a lot of shortened words. So I hear that. I'm learning a lot of Bisaya. I'm really enjoying learning the language. Yeah, it's one of the things that's kind of surprised me about being here too, as I look at my time being here, is how much I actually really have. And guys, I want to say too, this probably goes anywhere in the world, as you're traveling out, you really, really, really want to be open to learning the language. It makes such a difference. It is really key and importante kayo to be able to speak some words in the local dialect. It's almost one of the most important things you can do for yourself in your time in any country. You're going to want to learn some of the words. It says a lot about who you are. It shows respect for the people, and you wouldn't believe how appreciative people are. Just this simple stuff, hello, how are you, how was your day, that kind of stuff. How's your family, kumusta imo familia, kumusta imo alao, seeing some of these just simple phrases that we can do that really, man, it just boom, you're connected with people. Mayong buntag, good morning. Even if you fumble up, like sometimes I'll say at night, it'll be morning, right? And I'll say mayong buntag, which is good morning when it's I should be saying my own gabi, or something like that, right? They just laugh and smile. But it's just, and even with the kids, right? I say, hi, how are you? ¿Cómo está? And then, they just smile and stuff. So it's really cute. It's really cute. And people really, respond well to that. And I think it goes anywhere in the world, right? It's funny, since aga in Tagalog means to snatch. Yeah, I do. I get a kick out of the words. Only fun. Yeah, yeah. Kevin K. You certainly have to be careful using Tagalog words in Visaya area. Visaya, vice versa, it could get you in trouble. Kevin's really interesting point, and right on. There is this kind of rivalry against each other in a lot of ways. So, and when you have someone who speaks Tagalog in Visaya, they often will converse in English and not in Tagalog. So you're right. And you might be saying something that has completely different meaning, right? So there's that as well. But one of the things I've noticed being here for a little bit is when you have people in those two regions, they'll resort to English and do that. But yeah, misunderstandings are pre-programmed. Yeah, they'll resort to English. Well, guys, I think I'm going to cut it here. We're almost at 2 hours. I've got a gentleman who should be here any second, and I need to help him in with the gate because the security is super tight here. So I think I'll end the live here. I will catch you guys on the next one. I really appreciate it. You know what? I hope I didn't freak people out with this live. It's not my intention. My intention is to present something that is for me and that is going on for me as I'm living here. And I think it's important for guys who are looking to come out here too, to have this on your radar, because it wasn't on mine before coming out here. So, but yeah, I don't want to, it's one of my ancestors was Paul Revere. I don't want to be the British are coming. And, I think that it's important for us to really develop these strategies and live well here, right? And it's kind of what you can count on for me. It is that type of conversation. So, yeah, guys, for a live concert, not taking. All right, guys, we'll see you on the next one. Thanks everyone for being here. Ampin, Ayaw.